Joe Rogan and Wladimir Klitschko recently found themselves in the middle of a public spat. Also in this video, Tom Aspinall made a crazy statement.
I've lost my voice, it's going to be a massive announcement.
Jon Jones and Tom Aspinall are both in talks with the UFC about their next fights. Maybe they've agreed to fight each other. This is getting really interesting. Also, Dan Hooker and iShowSpeed had a wild sparring session. So let's go in order. Joe Rogan and Wladimir Klitschko recently found themselves in the middle of a public spat, sparked by Rogan's comments on the situation between Russia and Ukraine. On his podcast, Rogan voiced his concerns about U.S. President Joe Biden's decision to provide Ukraine with long-range missiles for use against Russian forces. Rogan argued that this escalation could lead to World War III, prompting a sharp response from Klitschko.
What I don't feel safer is right now they're launching missiles into Russia.
Yeah.
How are you allowed to do that when you're on the way out? Like, the people don't want you to be there anymore. There should be like some sort of a pause for like significant actions that could potentially start World War III. Maybe that would be a good thing that we would like to avoid from a dying former president. Mm-hmm. Zelensky says Putin is terrified. F you, man. F you people. You f***ing people are about to start World War III. That's what's scary about life, is like you don't want to pay attention to that shit. You just want to live your life. You want to just be carefree and have fun and do the thing that you're passionate about. And meanwhile, the world is burning.
Klitschko, the former heavyweight boxing champion and prominent Ukrainian figure, accused Rogan of spreading Russian propaganda. He argued that such statements serve Russia's interests by sowing fear and undermining support for Ukraine, which is currently fighting to maintain its sovereignty against Russian aggression.
Joe Rogan, I listened to your latest podcast. I'm sending you this video to let you know that I disagree. You talk about these American weapons being sent to Ukraine, which you believe will lead to the Third World War. So, let me tell you that you're repeating Russian propaganda. Putin's Russia is in trouble, so they want to scare you and people like you. His war was supposed to last 3 days. It has lasted 3 years, thanks to the heroism and sacrifice of us Ukrainians. So you're using the only weapon that Putin really intends to use, propaganda. And this weapon really weakens our democracies. Putin's Russia wants to destroy Ukraine quietly. They want America to stay quiet, not great, but quiet. A great America is not an America that abandons countries that defend freedom with their lives. In short, you see, I have quite a few points of difference. If you invite me on your podcast, we could discuss them like free men.
When Klitschko invited Rogan to have an open discussion on his podcast, hoping to clear up their differences and provide a platform for the Ukrainian point of view, Rogan's response was not long in coming, and a response to Klitschko's invitation was published on X, where he asked his subscribers, "Does this make sense to anyone, or just an attempt to get on the podcast?" This remark seemed to downplay Klitschko's concerns, and soon enough, Rogan's comments section was buzzing with opinions, divided sharply between those supporting Rogan's views and those defending Klitschko's stance. Some followers encouraged Rogan to accept the invitation, pointing out Klitschko's credentials. One comment read, "Why wouldn't you have it with him? He's the former heavyweight champion of the world and lives in Ukraine. You just had the same discussion with a bankrupt drug addict music producer, but suddenly it'd be weird to have it with Klitschko." Another follower, Jake Bro, chimed in, stating, "It makes sense to me. Have him on for an honest conversation. He's the former heavyweight champion of the world. This isn't someone you want to talk to?" There were also calls for Rogan to be open to differing perspectives. It makes sense to listen to Ukraine's side of the story too. Face the man, talk to him, and make your own opinion on what's really going on there, one user urged. Not everyone was enthusiastic about the idea of Klitschko appearing on Rogan's podcast. American conservative commentator Candace Owens joined the fray, dismissively writing "fake and gay" in response to Klitschko's comments. Despite the polarization, the debate brought up an interesting idea. Why not have Rogan and Klitschko hash it out on the podcast? Rogan has hosted an incredibly diverse range of guests, from scientists to conspiracy theorists, from celebrities to controversial public figures.
Hello, world.
Hello, world.
We just wrapped up a great podcast.
We had a good time. I think you'll find it very interesting and enjoy it.
Wladimir Klitschko, a respected athlete and someone who is directly impacted by the war, certainly fits into the category of high-profile guests deserving of attention. In fact, such an episode could be a blast. But one thing is certain, The world stands at a critical and potentially dangerous crossroads. Many are looking to Donald Trump, who has vowed to resolve the ongoing conflict. Whether he can fulfill this promise remains to be seen, but the stakes are incredibly high.
We have never been closer to World War III than we are today under Joe Biden. A global conflict between nuclear-armed powers would mean death and destruction on a scale unmatched in human history. It would be nuclear Armageddon. And I am the only one who can do it. I'm the only one that can get the job done. I know exactly what has to be done.
Let's remain hopeful that cooler heads will prevail and diplomatic solutions will take priority, avoiding the devastating consequences of war. In the end, we all share the desire for peace and stability in uncertain times. We've got some more exciting and wild updates from the world of MMA. Let's dive right in. Tom Aspinall has made a crazy statement. He just shared on his Instagram that he has a big announcement coming tomorrow.
Okay guys, big announcement coming to my channel tomorrow, 9 a.m. Tuesday, 9 a.m. UK time. I'm so excited, I've lost my voice. It's going to be a massive announcement. Make sure you get over there, you guys are going to love it.
Both Jones and Aspinall are currently in negotiations with the UFC for their next fights, and there are rumors flying that they might actually face each other. Imagine that showdown. It would be absolutely epic.
So right now, the UFC and I, we're in negotiations. We're in talks to see what happens next. I'm back in the gym. I'm training. I feel really great, and we'll just be ready for whatever opportunity comes our way.
But you're a betting guy. Do you think you'll get back inside the cage in 2025 if we had a bet on that?
Yes, I will be competing in 2025, more than likely.
We're in negotiations right now, is the honest answer. We don't know when the fight is going to be. But I'll be ready to go whenever. I'm back in the gym now. I'm back in the gym training, as always, and I'll be ready to fight when they let me know. Until then, I'll be improving. I'll be getting better. So no great rush on that. Obviously, I want to fight as soon as possible, but right now, we're just waiting for a date. That's it.
Moving on, there's another interesting fight development involving Corey Sandhagen. Sandhagen recently said he wants to fight Peter Yan next, which would be an incredible matchup.
Congrats to Jan. Maybe we'll do it next. I don't really know what the division's going on. I haven't really heard too much. I was hoping to hear probably sometime next week about the direction that they're going to go in, because I know that they were waiting on this fight to play out. And yeah, congrats to Jan. I still want to get that one back. We'll see if it'll be next or not.
But as always, the UFC landscape is a bit complicated. Peter Yan himself seems focused on a bout with statement.Dvalishvili, and Merab also wants that fight. However, it looks like Dana White has other plans. The boss is pushing for Merab to face Umar Nurmagomedov instead.
Merab said that he wants to rematch O'Malley at the end of this year or the beginning of the next year. What's the situation?
Umar.
The tension between statement.Dvalishvili and Umar Nurmagomedov has been escalating, with both fighters engaging in a heated exchange on social media. The conflict intensified when Nurmagomedov referenced a Georgian proverb stating, "A coward will always find an excuse for his retreat." Dvalishvili responded harshly, expressing his disapproval of Nurmagomedov's remarks and accusing him and his manager, Ali Abdelaziz, of disrespecting his country and his people. But the Dagestani responded that he didn't mean his country or nationality and suggested, "When you meet me in person, don't turn away." It's getting hot, and with the two often crossing paths, the next time they meet could be explosive.
Umar wants to fight Merab in January. Peter wants to fight Merab in March. I want to fight Merab in April. Merab is absolutely shitting himself, terrified of Umar. I think he will do that. He doesn't want to fight Umar. Now he's saying he wants to fight Peter. He wanted to fight me. But I mean, it is what it is.
Also, Dan Hooker and iShowSpeed had a wild sparring session.
Like, nobody in here can beat me in boxing. Nobody can beat me here in boxing. Okay. Dan, fight me.
Say less.
Come on. What? So you a righty? You a righty? You a righty? You a righty, huh? Come on. You a righty? My balls. Damn, you got my balls. Come here.
There you go.
Tom. That's time.
That's all for today. If you enjoyed the video, please like it and subscribe to our channel. We'd be very grateful.